Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Your host, as always, Dr. Yared Vasquez. We are going to talk about the two most gruesome injuries, or cuts, I should say, in today's fight card. We're talking about UFC Vegas 60. But before we get to talking about those gruesome Halloween-esque injuries, please make sure to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell so you don't miss another publication from the channel. Well, UFC Vegas 60, of course, the main characters of this MMA movie were Song Yadong and Corey Sandhagen. Man, a tremendous fight while it lasted, a 4-round battle, and a deep cut over the left eyebrow of Song Yadong coming from a upwards elbow of Corey Sandhagen. That's one of his specialties, those slicing elbows. A lot of people online, many people tagging me in a couple of tweets. Is that a cut that should have been stopped earlier? In order to understand how us ringside physicians make that decision on when to stop cuts, let's take a look at the cut right here. You see the cut is over the eyebrow. Here are the corrugator muscles. Below that, around the orbital area, you see the orbicularis oculi muscle. Those are the muscles that take care of, raising your eyebrow and closing and opening your eye. Here, what we go by is, let's pull up the guidelines here. Everything in the yellow area you observe for depth of cut, but you keep the fight going as long as there's not too much blood going into the eye and being an impediment for the visual, capacity of the fighter. And the doctor, I believe, did a good job. That's a pretty big cut. Maybe I would have stopped it at the end of the third, but he let Song Yadong fight. These guys are high level, so this is a Vegas doctor. They're always active. They're always in fights, so you got to give them their props. These guys know exactly what they're doing and have hundreds of fights under their belts. Of course, the fight ended. That cut is about maybe 2.5 inches. That's going to be a hefty work, hefty job. Of course, they're going to call in a plastic surgeon. This is the top level of fight companies, the UFC. So they're not going to have a general practitioner or a ringside doctor sew that up and suture that up. They're gonna have a plastic surgeon come in and make sure there's no scar tissue. Of course, the muscles involved. Again, let's take a look at the cut and take a look at the picture of the anatomy side by side. So we got the corrugator muscle and we have the orbicularis oculi muscle affected. It's gonna be maybe six weeks until you have that tensile strength. Maybe wait at least 3 months until you have contact and you're able to spar. Of course, they're always gonna take a CT scan because of the head trauma. If you have a significant enough strike that causes that cut, you gotta check the insides of the noggin, make sure there's no head trauma, no bleeding inside the brain, which we didn't see any signs of neurological impairment right there from Song Yadong. Great fight, and Corey Sandhagen moves on. But the second injury that we saw, of course, was Chitty Chitty Bang Bang against Gregory Robocop Rodriguez, one of my favorite fights of the card. This fight was absolutely crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I thought Chitty Chitty Bang Bang had that in the bag on the first round and was going to be able to finish. But, of course, he met Gregory Rodriguez with an incredible knee and gave him an incredible cut. Let's take a look at the cut right here. The cut is in a different place, but we go by the same rules, guys. It's in the middle of, the eyebrow here above the nose. The blood is not going into the eyes. The fighter can see it's not in the red area. If you see here, the red areas are the areas which you absolutely stop the fight, the eyebrow, the vermilion of the lip, or if it's going into the eye. That wasn't happening. The doctor, let him go. It was a pretty big cut, but he knew that it was going to affect them for the time being. And Gregory, capitalized on that, of course, and was able to finish Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in Jakuwani. I know that's not his name. That's how I like to say it, okay? The muscle involved here was the procerus, the muscle in charge of shrugging your eyebrows and being pissed. I would call that the Diaz muscle, huh? Little dad joke for everybody. So both of these guys, Gregory Rodriguez and Song Yadong, they're looking at CAT scans for their brains to make sure there's no trauma, and a hefty time under the needle and thread of a plastic surgeon to get that repaired. If you like this type of content, remember, you guys, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it.